I'm with Elias again. I don't know if you remember last time, but he said, Max, you're an expert on mental health, so you can kick it off this time. So there you go. I'm now an expert, but I'm not really. Folks, I don't know a lot about it, but I know about workplaces. And I do know about difficulties in workplaces with mental health issues. And it's quite a large concern. But we started this a conversation about exiting from workplaces too. So what's your experience in terms of that, Elias?
Well, I think I'm going to go back to look at how we as humans operate. And my experience that taught me about mental health happened over 20 years ago. Now, like you, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert on mental health, but I've seen the downsides of traumatic events and how they can affect people. I go back to 9/11, September 11, 2001, flying from London Heathrow to Chicago, which we've spoken about before. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, our plane halfway through was diverted to Gander International Airport, one of 38 airplanes that landed there. When you have no framework of what's going on, your mind starts to race. And I was originally in denial about what was happening. We ended up spending 24 hours in the airplane on the tarmac, followed with a further 4 days with the Salvation Army, 4 more days.
How many people were with you?
197 other passengers
Wow.
on our flight.
You imagine the folks stuck in a plane for, 24 hours?
24 hours solid.
God.
You could not exit the plane. All you had was the BBC World Service coming to you for information, pre-social media, pre-in-flight Wi-Fi. And the damaging aspect, I guess, is that your mind starts to race. You ended up 4 more days with the Salvation Army before they allowed us to return. We were one of 38 airplanes, a total of nearly 7,000 people stranded for a period of time. What I learned in that process, and I documented this in the book Leading from the Stop, is that you have to look after yourself first. It's okay to ask for help. This is what we learned 20 years ago. We had an infrastructure that was the Salvation Army and the people there, but I don't think we had counselors that we can go to or the concept of mental health workshops that we could attend. But now, 20 years on from that experience, we lock people up at home. We tell them, thou cannot interact with others.
And my goodness, that's affected workplaces. It's actually affected people to this day. I can report now, being a communicator for small businesses, it is really serious. People are reluctant to come back because they're scared. People are frightened. People are not comfortable anymore. They would prefer to be at home. The cocooning is the word I use. Even social functions. The cafes aren't open and the restaurants are experiencing less people. The cities are experiencing less people. And this is the carry-on. It's a mental health issue. And it's the fear that we need to get over. But by goodness, it's not going to happen too quickly.
It's not going to happen too quickly. And let's go look at technology. So technology, as we use our smartphones at the moment, and we're sending an email or a text, it's already got predictive texting. So predictive texting makes offers of different words you can use to create your conversation. And then if you go to social media, it's got a stage further, which is artificial intelligence, which starts to take you down rabbit holes. And I will classify them as rabbit holes, which can be very, very dangerous if you are susceptible. So how can we apply the equivalent of predictive texting or artificial intelligence to get our people back into the office and make it safe for them to go there?
And look, I don't know, even I've had a call this morning, and I get it daily now. Look, I've got to take stress leave, and unfortunately, I'm not comfortable. I don't really want to go to work, and the boss is telling me I've got to improve my performance, and I'm not happy. I really am. I've got to take some stress leave. And Max, by the way, do I get paid the whole time I'm on stress leave? Can I take about 3 weeks of it? And I go, no. Your boss only has to pay you for your sick leave, and if you're sick because of stress, he has a right to get your medical certificate to prove that, which you'll find easy to get. But after that, you're on your own. And that means if you can't go to work because your sick leave's used up, you're going to be without pay.
So how about we offer our audience a couple of solutions some ideas of what they can do. And I was
Don't travel over to at 7-Eleven. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, try and avoid that for sure. But here's the interesting situation. I was down in Wellington recently, my first trip in over almost 3 years, back in an aeroplane and flying across there after the lockdowns and COVID. And I spoke to a colleague and I said to them, how did you cope? And he said, every morning and every day we had two obligatory meetings.
I thought you were going to say drinks.
Oh, well, the first was an obligatory check-in and then an obligatory check-out. Oh. And in the morning, when you came in, every member of the team had to check in at a certain time. You had to have your video on so they could see you just to make sure you're okay.
Okay. That's probably not a bad idea. It's because it's mandatory. It's a discipline you have to follow, and it gives the employer some assurance, but the worker also knows that the boss cares.
Absolutely. If you had that as the first one, and it was literally, hi, how are you? Just want to make sure you're okay. At the end of the afternoon, they had a second call, and that was a checkout. And the checkout call was you just check in with the team to say, this is what I've accomplished, this is what I'm doing, these are the tasks I managed to do today, and can I get some help if I need help with these tasks? Because it's all very well that we are trying to put this macho face on, and it's great to be macho, but does that help you and your organization get further if it's going to lead to some sort of mental health issue?
Next week, when I get you back, I want to talk about resilience. Is it real? Is it something of the past? Is it the stale, pale males demanding of people to be tougher? What is it? And what are the solutions? You've come up with some beauties today, Elias. I think the tips that you've provided people are excellent. See you next week.